I am Matt Vincent. I am two-time Highland Game World Champion and kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. Extremely average in as many things as I've tried to do. And owner and proprietor of Hate Brand Goods. Powerlifting, I have an elite raw total of a 685 squat, a 425 bench, and a 675 pull. And geared, I went 1,000-pound squat, 700 bench, and a 700 deadlift. Track and field in college, and now Highland Game competitor. 2 years ago, after I guess meeting Jesse, we started talking about some diet, nutrition stuff. I think maybe after the Arnold we met and got a little bit more friendly, and he really kind of pointed me into some different nutritional goals so that I could drop some weight, keep my speed, keep my power, and be a little bit more mobile and quick and actually a little healthier. That way I could survive a long season of 20 competitions. Powerlifting meets to me for a long time I've found to be extremely boring. And the meet this weekend was great. The flow of it seemed to roll pretty good. They didn't overwhelm it with too many athletes. I mean, shoot, it was active enough that the crowd stayed the entire time. I mean, even during the deadlift after, the women's flight had finished, I mean, the crowd stayed. I mean, there were probably 200 people in here the entire day. And I mean, there were food trucks provided. It was really just a first-class setup and a great meet to really watch and be, even just the view from the outside.
Hi, I'm Jesse Burdick. I run PowerWOD.com, and I'm a strength and conditioning coach here at CSA Gym in Dublin, California. I also run the Prevail Power team out of here, and we're running meets out of CSA Gym. We just ran the SPF SummerSlam meet, had about 60 lifters, and had 3 all-time world records broken, and looking to add to those and add to the success of the meets in November.
I'm Katie Hogan. I'm a CrossFit trainer, also training out of CrossFit CSA in Dublin, and I also work for CrossFit HQ seminar staff, and been helping along with the last couple meets we did here at CSA Gym, kind of back of the house kind of stuff, organizing, and really looking forward to more meets in the future.
So what we're trying to do with the meets here at CSA is when the torch was kind of passed to us to start doing meets down here, I wanted to improve the lifter experience. So, and what I mean by that is I wanted to provide them a venue to show off their lifts, be successful, and have everything taken care of for them. So what I wanted to do is fix a lot of the issues and problems that I saw with other meets that I had been to. And some of the things that I had seen that I knew I could fix are a warm-up room that has very good equipment that matches the equipment that's on the platform. I wanted to provide drinks and food for the lifters in the warm-up room. I wanted to provide a cold moderately temperatured warm-up room, one that wasn't too cold or one that everyone was just sweating and uncomfortable with. I wanted everyone to be able to warm up properly before they get on the platform and not be rushed. And on the platform, I wanted to provide the highest quality equipment, from bars to monolift bench and plates. And I wanted to provide them with the best spotters, loaders, judges, and staff to go ahead and make things run. And I knew that what I needed to do was call on some of the sponsors that, sponsor me to help make some of that happen. And I wanted to provide everyone who got to the meet, I wanted to give them something for coming. I wanted to entice bigger lifters to come by offering up money for not only placing, but also breaking all-time world records. And I also wanted to give away prize packs that would entice people and make them come back to my meet, to almost make them loyal to me. The meet that we just had on Saturday, the packages that we gave away to the division winners were well over $1,200. And these are people who are paying $100 to come into the meet. And if they perform the way that they do, they can walk away with $1,200 worth of supplements, equipment, shoes, recovery devices, everything, up and down those, coffee, bars, drinks, etc. So we're trying to call on all the sponsors that help us and help us provide everyone with a higher quality meat.
So as far as improving these meets compared to other just events in general that we've been to, whether they be powerlifting, Olympic lifting, CrossFit, we've got to kind of experience all of these as coaches, athletes, and spectators. And so what we tried to do was keep the good and get rid of the bad. And Jesse kind of hit on the lifter experience and improving the athlete experience. And along with that, we also wanted to make sure that the spectator experience was really improved as well. And making sure there were actual seats for the spectators to sit and enjoy and stay and watch the actual meet. We've been to events where there are none, and you're either pulling up a box or a bench, you're sitting on the floor. Maybe you were smart enough to bring your own folding chair and bring that in, but it's something as simple as that. Also, really big one for us, wherever any event we go to, is it run on time? Is it run efficiently and run well? And that was a big one for us, that we really want to make sure that it's run as quickly as possible without feeling rushed. And that's kind of a fine line to walk. You don't want to push the athletes, making them feel rushed and compromise their performance. But you don't want to drag things out to the point of exhausting your volunteers, boring all of your spectators to the point that they leave. I mean, there have been plenty of those events, whether they be powerlifting, CrossFit, what have you, and nobody likes it. It's not fun for anybody. So really being tight on our timeline and being smart about how we organize the event, as far as how many lifters are accepted, how many are we actually going to take on for a 1 or a 2 day event, how many volunteers do we need to keep this running, and relieving judges so that they're not needing a bathroom break and we have to put everything on hold, or any small details like that. So I tried to organize as much of that beforehand as possible. And I think we really got what we were after in terms of all around better experience for everyone involved.
Something else that we're trying to do is helping the people who support us to helping the not only the lifters but also the spectators, help support them. So we're bringing in kind of the vendor village aspect of things to powerlifting, where a lot of times in powerlifting you're sitting in a chair hoping to see your loved one, friend, or son or daughter, lift. You're going to get to see them lift 9 times, and if they're on the platform for a total of 90 seconds, that's probably a lot. So what do you do with all that other time? You can watch some other people, you can talk to some people, but also we figured out that let's just get some vendors here to give them something to go and do, something to go and shop. And all of our vendors to this point have done very, very well. And really, really liked the fact that they could offer the service to people. And all the spectators really liked it too, because once they kind of were done with watching whatever they were watching, they got to kind of go and get up, move around, shop, find something new, find something cool, and kind of go from there.
Matt Vincent is a total jerk. No.
Matt Vincent's amazing. The Fat Owl himself. He's a really good friend. He's been very, very supportive of both myself and Katie, in the meets that we do up to this point. And you know, he was here for 3 days hanging out, eating all our food and sleeping in all of our beds, hanging out with the girls and getting to play with them. He's a great guy, and it's always good to see him. And you know, he's a hell of an athlete himself. It's always fun to kind of have him come in, and he just really gets to play for a while, which is always interesting. So he's in here doing CrossFit, running hills with Jackie, and then he gets to go ahead and squat heavy and everything. So
maybe next time we'll make him compete.
Yes, he has had a history of every time that he either MCs or has a booth, he usually ends up competing in that. So we were kind of waiting for that, see if he was gonna jump out of there and try and do something. But it's usually when he's pushed with a little bit of alcohol that usually helps his decisions.